I think that's one of the more difficult grips.
It is. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do a seated row correctly. The seated row is probably, if you don't do this right, it's the best way to blow out your back. So if you have a herniated disc or you have a lot of low back pain, I would not spend a lot of time doing these type of rows. Especially if your feet is out front like this, I would do more vertical pulls. Because a vertical pull is going to kind of distract your spine, pull apart, decompress your spine. If you have low back pain, if you have disc bulges, this is a little more risky and it will feed your disc bulge. So avoid this if you're having a lot of low back pain. However, if your back is healthy, let's teach you how to do this correctly so you can keep it healthy. So with seated rows, first thing is, we're going to use just one bar to teach you all different rows. Whether you do, so just when you do rows with your elbows in tight like this to your body, these are going to be, this is going to be a lat row anytime your elbow's out. If your elbows are out like this is going to be a rear delt row. Whether your grip is like this or whether your grip is like this, as soon as you start fanning your elbows out, you're targeting more rear delts. Every grip is going to target a different muscle fiber. So you have narrow grip, you got a medium grip, a little bit wider grip like this. So we'll go over those a little bit later, but you have a lot of different grips. So first off, when you do your seated row, any type, here I'm going to do an underhand grip. You step in real close, pop up your chest, and then use your legs to slide back. Now the key is be tall. I'm nice and tall, and what you're going to do is as you row, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. It's really important you pinch your scapula together, and then you're going to release. And when I release, I don't lean into it. Instead, I keep my posture chest up. I'm rowing towards my chest or stomach. Slow release, squeezing the shoulder blades. When you do this right, what's going to happen is, if you do this right, your shoulder, if I put my finger here on your shoulder, it will roll off of my finger. So I roll my shoulder back. If I do this wrong, if I only pull with my arms, my finger stays on your shoulder. So if you pull like this, there's no upper back work at all. No mid-trap work, no rhomboid work. So the key is you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back as you pull. So that's really important. And so I could also, the same technique applies to a rear delt row. So now I have an overhand grip. Elbows are going to be out now. I'm gonna squeeze my elbows out, but I'm still squeezing my shoulder blades together. And if you notice, as I go full range, you're going to go all the way forwards. But what you don't do is let your chest drop. See, you avoid letting your chest drop. Chest is up. You fixate your spine in one place, and a little bit of row like this. As you get tired, is maybe acceptable, but ideally we're locking that torso, and I never want too much lean. A tiny bit lean back, you could lock that, but ideally vertical. And you're really always avoiding this rounded. You never want to do your rows like this. Never do that. So we're doing our rear delt rows. We're always going to have the elbows out. And so we got to figure out our attachments. So a couple of options. One is we've got this wide parallel grip handle here. So you can use this, and you're going to pull back. This is a great handle, great option. One thing about this, when you do this, because it's angled like this, it's a little bit harder to make contact with your body. So, and it's acceptable. So if you're stopping 3 or 4 inches from your body, that's still an acceptable row, just because it's cambered, it's angled. And then you also have this grip here. Generally, we're going to go right about here would be your optimal distance for most people. So you're going to go, usually what we do is just take your fingers, span them out like this to where the knurling is, your fingernail catches, and then wrap your thumbs, and right there, you squeeze back.